Hello, welcome to my channel Robo Learning. In this video, we'll learn how to debug hardware issues related to microcontroller project design. So mostly this will be related to focus to hardware side, and we assume that your software side is already right. So in next video, we'll cover the software issues and how to fix them. So let's start with code upload to Arduino Uno. Hoping that your software boards and ports are all set, but still the code is not able to load. So what happens is that actually though the USB cable looks nice, but actually what happens is that the inner part of this connector, it's basically rusted, and that is the reason it doesn't work. So before you decide on that the issue with the microcontroller board or the ICU is gone, so what you have to do is you make sure that you first change the cable. You should have additional spare cable to change it and see if the code uploads. If the code is still not uploading, then probably assume that there is some other side, some other issues also there. Probably if you forgot to change the board type, etc. Or maybe what happens, the bootloader is gone. So this is that part actually. So this is that first part. What happens is next is that comes the jumper cable wires comes here. So what happens is actually if you're designing a project for immediate use and you don't want to keep the project, you just want to demonstrate, so you just put the connectors. Actually you just put the connector, and what happens is that this connector, if you're using it, you're using the same project after a month later or 2 months later, they get rusted and they don't work actually. So that is the reason that your project will not be working actually. So this is that part we assume that. So what happens is make sure that change the wires one at a time, or you test the connectivity of the wire, electrical connectivity, and see if it works. If it doesn't work, change the wires. So that should fix the issue actually. So another issue is that sometimes these wires, jumper wires, they are very not so good quality. So they get hardened over a period, like 6 months later or 1 year later. What happens if they're exposed to outside area, humidity, air, heat, etc.? They get very hard actually, and they don't flex that much. The quality is lost. So what happens is that they are gone. So make sure to change the wire. So and that should fix the issue actually. So this is another part actually. Another thing is that connectivity issue is actually multifold. Suppose you want to design the project on Arduino Uno. What happens is that instead of connecting the jumper cable directly, you design this kind of small connectors using your breadboard, solderable breadboard. Connect the male pins, and then you solder your individual wires here. Okay, so like if you see here, these kind of things I have done. So what happens is that it is easy to take out the board. You just pull out the connector here, and you can put back in the microcontroller and the board, and you just don't have to remember the pin which wires are connected. You just plug the entire things. So it's easy to, so these things are very portable actually. It's very easy to you don't have to remember anything. You don't have to go inside the code and see what is working, which pin is connected to motor or driver or servo, etc. So that is another thing actually. This is portable project you have to do. So make sure that you don't stick to the temporary thing. And the thing is that if you're using with Arduino Nano, you can design this kind of board, and it is easy to change it. You can take out the board, Nano board, and you put into another project, and later you probably just take out the disassemble the project and put this board back to the normal project. Another thing is that sometimes what happens, you were testing some accessories, some driver, a motor, etc., servo, and you want to quickly assemble the project and test it. So for that purpose, you can use breadboards. Okay, these plastic breadboards are handy for not for demonstration, not for carrying to a long distance and do it, because what happens, these are rusted boards, they are not good qualities, and you cannot keep them for long project. They are going to last probably 6 months or 1 year, not more than that, and after that their quality will be lost, the wires will be gone, all will be rusted, they will be loose, and they will not work properly. So make sure that you take care of this also. So your project should be designed in such a way that it should be, the board should be replaceable. The board should be taken out and put into another project also, and put it back actually later. And I think that connector should be taken out at once, and then you should be able to replace the board. That is the way it should work. And the thing is that it should not be loose actually. So even if the project falls from a height or suppose 1 feet or etc., it should not break. It should be able to sustain the fall on the ground, or what happens if it gets hit. So that is another thing. Another thing is that make sure that you're supplying enough power to your project, because what happens is that in absence of enough power, the project will not work. If there are connected two motors to a project, one motor will move, another motor will not move. what happens sometimes actually servo moves, but your ultrasonic will not take proper measurement actually. You will not be able to know what is happening actually. So when you supply a power to, or suppose Arduino, you supply through barrel check instead of a V pin here actually. So don't supply the power through V pin. It is not going to be helpful. It is very, very impossible to debug this kind of issue because you will not know. So make sure that there is enough power going to your project. Otherwise, it will never work. You will not know what is happening. Sometime it will work, sometime it will not work, and you will not know what is happening, what the hell is happening to my project. So hopefully these are the hardware analysis issue or debugging issue, and it will help out to design your project, which should be portable. It should sustain for a long time. You should be able to enhance your project over a long period of time, because you don't want to just copy one project and keep it as it is. You should be able to put your thought into that project. So hopefully you like it. Next video will cover the software issues. Thank you very much. If you like the project, give a thumbs up also. Bye bye.